It's now become a bit of a tradition here on Proper DIY that every year after a cold wet winter and algae has grown on near enough every surface, that I do a bit of a review of a different way of cleaning your patio. I started with basic jet washing, then also tried that patio cleaning attachment to the jet wash, which actually worked a lot better than I thought it was going to. I also trialled the common patio cleaning detergents, the sort of things you buy in your DIY shop, that promise to clean your patio spotlessly without putting in any effort, although to my mind they didn't do so well. I also showed you the effects of using sodium hypochlorite, which is a really powerful bleach which basically bleaches anything it touches, which definitely does brighten up your patio, and also the most expensive wet and forget product, which although it sort of worked is quite an expensive way of doing any cleaning. However, with all the different methods I've used, I've always avoided using something mechanical just in case it damages my Indian sandstone. But this year I thought, what the heck, let's try out a powered mechanical scrubber that may or may not clean the patio and may or may not damage it. This could be a big mistake. I've got two powered scrubbers here that I'm going to be trying out today. Both are Ryobi and they do slightly different things. And before I go any further, I'm not being sponsored by Ryobi. I bought these with my own money. You can pick these up in most DIY shops or on Amazon. I'll put the Amazon link in the description below if you want to have a look. They do two different things. The first one here has got a wide brush to actually clean the patio surface, and this one has got a wire brush to essentially remove those weeds and grass that grow in the gaps between your patio slabs. Now I'm going to be using these with water and a little bit of a detergent. I'm using the Ronseal patio cleaner here. That's a very basic cleaner. I think most of the cleaning is going to be coming from these machines rather than this detergent from my experience, but I really want something just to mix in with the water. You can also buy detergent from people like Karcher as well, which I'm sure will do exactly the same sort of job. Now I'm not going to go into detail on these machines. If you want the detail, you can see my review on my tools channel called Tools in Effect this time next week. And if you didn't know, I've got a tools channel. Where have you been hiding? On my second channel, every week I review different tools, everything from cheap budget tools to sexy, expensive tools that we all want but we can't necessarily afford. And also any scams to do with tools, whether it be how they work or whether they're the real thing. So if you're not already subscribed to that channel, go and have a look. I'll put the link in the description below and you see my full review of this and another couple of tools that you may want to invest in spring this year, ready for your garden. Right, let's get on with it. What I'm going to do is essentially just put down some water, sprinkle a little bit of this around just so I've got a little bit of sort of lubrication. And let's give this one a bit of a spin just to see A, if it cleans, and B, if it damages my patio. Before I start, I'll just show you my typical slabs at the moment after the winter. You might see here like a green tinge. Now this I cleaned at the end of last summer, so this was absolutely spotless before we went into winter. And it doesn't really matter where I look, I see that same tinge all over the place, and especially where water gathers, like somewhere like this. However, that algae growth is always worse on this side of the house. Around here it's always wetter and darker, and although it hasn't dried out this morning, oh, you can actually see there, that's pretty nasty. This hasn't dried out this morning because it's on the north side of the house, so the sun's not got to it at all. And you can just see a green tint with all of it. And always the worst section is around here at the front. I don't know how many times I've cleaned this and made it look absolutely spotless. But you can see from here it looks like it's a green paving, but it's not. That should all be grey. So my logic is you might as well clean it in March or April, because then it's just done and out the way and you can appreciate it all the way through spring and summer rather than leaving it till August, the day before you've got friends coming around. So take a deep breath, wait until you've got a nice Sunday, get your old clothes on and go and clean it. As the user manual for this tool spends all its time telling me to secure my long hair and not walk backwards with it, I'm not quite sure why, and definitely don't eat the lithium battery, rather than actually telling me the best way to use it, I sort of improvise and put down some water and detergent so I'm not brushing dry. I start by lightly brushing the surface in anticipation of the sandstone falling apart, and quickly realise it's actually going to take a lot more than this nylon brush to damage it. However, I keep it moving just in case leaving it in one place for too long scratches the surface. After a couple of minutes of cleaning the first slab, I wash it off to find that the slight green tinge of algae is still there. It does seem good, however, at removing any mud or material that's stuck on the surface, and I would disagree with the user manual that tells you you need to wear hearing protection. It's not loud and definitely not 80 decibels, which is what's called the lower action level, where you'd need to start providing hearing protection in a work environment. However, I think gloves and eye protection is a sensible precaution with all these bits flying around. To see what effect it's actually having on the paving, I decide to brush only one half of quite a dirty slab, just to compare brushed with untouched. Well, so far, it's been a bit difficult to see where I've been and where I haven't been, which is a little bit worrying. That last section that I did where I've done half a paving slab, I can't actually tell which half I've done. I think if there's anything on the surface, that brush definitely takes it off, but whether it actually gets to that green algae is another thing. But I might be just jumping the gun here a little bit. I think I need to do a bigger sample. I'm going to do this whole area, then I'll make a decision. While I'm brushing this larger area, I decide to multitask, so I get my lawnmower going for the first time in 2026, as the grass is now starting to grow. In a couple of weeks' time, I'll be talking all about robot lawnmowers, the pros and cons, and what I've learned after using this one for the last few months, a lot of which I hadn't even thought about before owning one. So if you're thinking about investing in one, or you've just bought a house with a new lawn to cut, don't miss that episode. I then try the wire brush cleaning tool on the joints, which is pretty ruthless when it comes to ripping out the weeds and grass. Although it does struggle on some of the larger roots, and it won't be long before those are starting to grow back, I'm sure. This part of my patio needs rejointing, and the jointing material that is left between the slabs isn't in good condition, which the wire brush just rips out without mercy, leaving gaping holes. So everything I've done so far with this has been on paving where the jointing compound is suspect, to say the least. It was never put in properly and most of it's coming out anyway, so it's not a surprise that it's coming out when I put this on it. But this next section, I actually put this jointing compound in myself about 6 or 9 months ago, compacted it very well, so it is the absolute perfect jointing compound. It needs a bit of a clean, but I'm keen to see if this rips it out. This is Easy Fill, I think it was, that I put in some time ago, but that top layer is obviously just dirt and grime. But underneath is actually good compound. So let's get the brush on there, see if it pulls it all out. Okay, so that is quite positive actually. Maybe I've lost a little bit of the surface, but that is pretty much still in there. And now it's been brushed, actually looking a bit like the day I put it in. So moving from paving slabs to block paving, I thought I'd try them on this little area that I installed a few years ago now, which has started to get overgrown with weeds and moss, and it's about time that it has a clean. I found the weeds pull out from this block paving a lot easier, probably because the joints are a lot narrower, so they haven't got so much to hold on to. But the wire brush cleaner absolutely excelled in taking out all of the moss and the weeds in the joints quickly and without effort. So if you've got a block paving drive or patio or sideway that's in need of a proper clean like this one, this I think is the tool you need. And unlike paving slabs, I wouldn't try using a pressure washer here because you don't want to remove all of that sand helping to lock the blocks together. So using a rotating wire brush while standing up comfortably is definitely the way to go. So within minutes, without much effort, you can go from this to this. So far, I'm not overly impressed with this. Yes, it definitely takes off the debris, and if you've got really bad patio, this will definitely go some way to cleaning it up. But it's not going to get rid of your green algae. This just isn't designed for that. The only way you're going to do that is either by using a jet wash, a pressure washer, or chemicals. However, there's one thing we haven't tried with this yet, which it may be very good at. But before we try that, Ryobi tell me I need to change the brush. Ryobi make different brushes that you can use on this machine. So as well as the universal brush that it comes with, you can get an artificial turf brush, a wire brush and a scouring brush. And also this one, which is a wood cleaning brush, which is a little bit softer and it doesn't damage your decking, and it manages to get into the bottom of all those grooves, which must be the hardest part of any decking to clean. And although I know this is only a couple of square meters as a sample, I think this brush performed really well on this type of decking. And if I had a larger deck to clean and restain, this machine and brush would definitely be something I'd be looking to use to first give it a good clean. So after lots of splashing of water and detergent and bringing up debris, what's my final thoughts on cleaning your patio with tools like this? Well, I love doing reviews like this because quite often the end result is totally different to what I thought it was going to be going into it. And in this case, it's exactly that. The first thing I would say is that neither of these machines damaged my Indian sandstone. The one with the wire brush, I'm lucky that my joints are quite wide, so the majority of the wire brush got inside the joints. If you had narrow joints, I think that might scrape along the side, but for me, that didn't actually do anything at all. The main brush takes off debris quite well, and battery wise, I've only got through half of this battery. Everything you saw me do, I've used half a 4 amp-hour battery. Although, as I said, it's never going to remove that green tinge if you've got algae growing on the surface. So out of the two of them, the one I'm most impressed with is the one that cleans my joints. So if I had my choice, I would keep this one and send this one back. Unfortunately, I can't do that. What I was surprised about was how good this timber brush worked on decking. And I think if you've got decking and you're coming up to restaining it or cleaning it after the winter, I'm not sure how you'd clean it properly without a machine like this. So if you've got decking, I think this is an excellent machine to use with a softer brush, because it gets into all those ribs that are really difficult to get into, cleans everything out, and then you've got half a chance of being able to restain it and put it back into its original condition. Anyway, the choice is yours. I think after all of this, I'm still going to put some sort of chemical down, probably sodium hypochlorite, just to make everything absolutely spotless. I hope you enjoyed this video. Good luck with your own patio. I will see you next time.